In this video, we will make an app that looks something like what you see on the right. So basically, it's a button that once you press, the number 1 appears in the list viewer below. This is called a list viewer. So if you press the second time, the second one appears. And then you press a third time, the third one appears, and so on and so forth. And as this number is added, the value that you see at the top is the sum of the number of times that this has been pressed. So you can imagine this to be used for maybe counting somebody's sit-up reps. You just use it as a simple counter. So you'll see how this can be done in this video. So first of all, we need the label at the top. So we put the label. And then maybe we want the label to show nothing at first, and we want the number to be visible. Okay. Then next we see that we need a big button. So we create the button below, and then the button should be big enough so that it's easy to press. Let it fill, say, 30% of the height. And then the width can be the full width. And next, we use a list viewer, which is something new that we are learning. So we put the list viewer below. And that is how the interface would look like. Then we go to the blocks. It is always easiest to start with the action. So the only action that you have would be the button action. So when button is clicked, what do you want it to do? And then you will also need two types of variable. One variable is the variable that will appear in the label at the top. So we call that the sum. Okay, initially when the app starts, it should be 0. Okay, then the next variable that you need is a list, is the value that will go under the second part of the, will go under this part, right? That will be the list. So pick out the create empty list. And then we just call it list of numbers. Once that is settled, we can start programming what we want the button to do. So firstly, you want the button to be increasing the sum, right? The button to be increasing the sum, so you take a sum, set global sum to something. So what would that be? That would be an addition function. So what you need to do is you take the original sum, whatever that is, and you increase by 1. Okay. And then you want your label to reflect this number. So set label text to the sum. So this settles the first part of the app, which shows the number of clicks that is being done, right? Now we need to put the values in this black part, which is the list viewer. So when the button is clicked, we want the list viewer to show the element of the list, right? However, currently, if you run the code this way, up to this point, the list is still empty. Okay, so you need to update the list. This is how you use the list. You add item to the designated list, and the designated list is you have only one, you have list of numbers, and the list item is very simple. It is just the number 1. So we put it below. Yes, this will be how the entire app will look like. So in this video, you learn about the list variable, which is important, as well as the list view, which you can use it to show the list items. You can use this as the base template for you to make a more complicated lap counter in the future.